These are some of my favorite Detroit suburbs in that $500,000 to $600,000 price range. It's not all of the Detroit suburbs, it's not all of the best, but they're some of my favorite. Every single one of the cities on this list have made all sorts of top 10 lists for the best places to live, the best places to raise a family, the best places to retire, things like that on niche.com and a bunch of other websites.
What do you mean by that?
So they're good. They're very good. Multiple websites say so. And if you stick around to the end of this video, I'm actually going to talk about one area that's under that $500,000 to $600,000 price range, and everybody asks me about it. So I think I get comments probably every day from people moving in Michigan or around Michigan asking why I don't talk about this area, and I'll talk about it here. All right, so first up on our list is Bloomfield Township, Michigan. So the population here of Bloomfield Township is 41,000, so it's a pretty big area. Now, the average price in Bloomfield Township is $523,000, so you've got sort of that mid-range there. But the lowest sale over the past year was $112,000, but the high sale was about $6 million, so it's a huge range there. So lots of people live there, big range of real estate. Now it is 43% more expensive than the Michigan average to live in Bloomfield Township, and it's actually 33% more expensive to live here than the US average. So it's expensive to live there, but it's a really nice area. Now, one of the big pros about Bloomfield Township is the location. The location is amazing. It's not far from downtown Detroit or the airport, so you can get sort of anywhere, anytime, quickly. Now, I'd say the big con to this area is that $500,000 to $600,000 doesn't go very far, so you don't get much for your money for $500,000 or $600,000. But you can do it. You can make it happen. The other thing is that there's no public access to the lakes around. You have to actually live on one of the lakes in the area or have lake access in your community. You can't live that lake life if you're not on the lake or like lake adjacent. Next up on our list is Birmingham, Michigan. I think everyone that has watched my channel knows that I love Birmingham. It's located right on the Woodward Corridor, so it's easy access to Detroit and just about anywhere else. And the population here is 21,000, so it's about half the size of the last one on our list. Now, the average home here in Birmingham is $589,000, so it's right up there. It's scratching 600. The cheapest place that sold over the past year was $200,000. So if you're looking for a $100,000 home, this is not going to be your spot. Really, most of these places aren't really your spot. The high price around here went up to about $6 million. So you've got a wide range of properties, but most of them are in that 600-ish range. Birmingham, Michigan is actually 50% more expensive than the average city in Michigan and 40% more expensive than the average city in the United States. So don't come here looking for like a cheap place to live. The big pro to Birmingham would be that it is extremely walkable. It's a very walkable suburb. You just hop on the sidewalks, walk around, go to a number of parks around, go downtown, go sort of anywhere, just, with your feet or with a bike or with your dog or with your friends. Now, the big con to Birmingham would be that the lot sizes are freaking tiny. I mean, you're living on basically like a postage stamp. It's tiny. And your houses are packed in there. I mean, it's like house after house after house. But it's okay if you're all right with just going to a community park, then you have that space and then you can just, use the sidewalks to get around. People do not move to Birmingham because of the yard sizes. Next up on our list is Northville, Michigan. And this is sort of a split. So you have Northville, the city, and then Northville Township. The city population is 6,000, so it's tiny. And then the township population is 29,000, so way bigger than the city. Now, the average home price in the city of Northville is $526,000. The low end would be about $150,000. There's not very many of those, but they go all the way up to about $2.2 million. Now, the average home in the township, because there are more homes available, is $485,000. So you're actually under that $500,000 threshold that we set at the beginning of this video. So either one here, it's about 40% more expensive to live here in Northville than any other city in the state of Michigan, and it's about 30% more expensive to live here than the average city in the United States. Pro for Northville, Either one is the downtown. The downtown is amazing in Northville, very walkable. And if you live near the downtown, it's extremely walkable. It's a lot like Birmingham, where you can just, walk out your door, walk around, go to the parks, things like that. Another pro would be the parks. I mean, there's some amazing outdoor things you can go and do outdoors. And the location. I think I've talked about Northville a bunch of times. The location, unbeatable. The big con to Northville would be the taxes. The taxes are very, very tricky. So Northville, Michigan is actually in both Wayne and Oakland County, depending on where you live in Northville. So you have to pay attention to that if you're gonna buy here. One house will be like thousands of dollars more than another one just because it's in like Wayne County instead of Oakland. It's nuts. Next up on our list is Novi, Michigan. It's not Novi, it's Novi. Despite what your GPS tells you, it is not Novi. So don't listen to it. Novi.
Tomato, tomato.
All right, so this is another one where we have a city and a township. But this one, the city is about 60,000 people that live there, and the township has about 150. So talk about tiny. That's super tiny. 150 people, that's like nothing. My neighborhood has more people than that. All right, so the average home here is about $538,000, with the low being about $75,000 and the high being about $2.8 million. So you have a big range here. The big pro here is it's another amazing location. So a great central location, close to sort of everything. People love the neighborhoods and the schools and everything like that. Some of the top rated places in the state. And the shopping. I keep talking about the shopping, but it's an amazing place to shop. It has one of the best malls around. The big con here with Novi is that the taxes are even crazier than Northville because you have 4 different school districts in one city. So a lot of people move to Novi just because of the school. So they're like, I want to live in Novi school district. Well, hold your horses. Just because you live in Novi doesn't mean you get the Novi school district. You have Novi schools, Northville schools, Walled Lake schools, and South Lyon schools. So you have to pay attention to that if you're buying a home in Novi. All right, so the next area on our list is a little bit of a curveball because it's less expensive than the other places on this list, but equally great. So this place is Rochester and Rochester Hills, Michigan. So this is what we would consider the east side. So it's a little bit further away. It's further away from downtown Detroit. It's further away from the airport and places like that. Now, Rochester Hills population is about 74,000, so it's bigger than any other place on this list. And that's one of the reasons why it's more affordable, because there's more people, more houses, more land, etc. Now in the city of Rochester, you have a population of about 13,000. So much smaller vibe to the whole area. Now in Rochester Hills, your average price for a home is about $376,000, and in Rochester, you're looking at paying about $411,000 on average. So again, it's under that $500,000 threshold. The cheapest homes available in these areas sold for under $100,000, but the most expensive, that sold for about $2 million. Huge range here. Big pro to Rochester and Rochester Hills is they do have an amazing downtown. Downtown Rochester is great. It's very comparable to places like Northville. Another big pro to the area is the wide variety of homes. You have older construction, newer construction. There were over 1,000 home sales in the past year for both of these areas combined, which is crazy. That's probably more than all the other areas combined. So again, Rochester and Rochester Hills reminds me a lot of Northville, but less expensive. If you want like Northville on a budget, Rochester. Now, the big con to this area would be, again, that it's further away from everything. So a lot of times when people contact me about moving to Northville and Novi, they'll also ask me about Rochester and Rochester Hills. And then when they look at the drive time, that usually becomes the deciding factor. So they'll say, well, I really like the style of homes in both of these areas. I like the downtown vibe of both of these areas, but like I can't get over the commute time. But if you work from home, then Rochester Hills is an amazing spot. Or if you just have to work sort of locally, then it works too. So what do you think? You want to move to any of these areas? If so, let me know. And if you're still looking for another place to live around Metro Detroit, check out some of these other videos and playlists around here, and I'll see you there.